Welcome to Dynamic Thriving Audio Blog, where we're very spiritual with a good dose of practicality in support of your life transformation. This is your host, Mary Ann Pack, spiritual medium, oracle for the many, and joy advocate. Today's audio blog is entitled Peace and Trust Work Hand in Hand. What's happening when we feel really stuck in a bad place? When we can't shake the negative thoughts? When we can't seem to get back to feeling better, happier, joyful, because we're down in the energy of disappointment or discouragement? I felt like an emotional yo-yo lately. Up for a few days, and then something I observed or experienced really send me for a loop and I crash. I'm back to being in the doldrums. It's like I can't seem to move the energy back up to where I want it to be. Recently, I was on a video meeting with a group and I mentioned that I'd been feeling such disappointment in my business. After much discussion, there were many in the group of coaches and beautiful transformational leaders that had also been feeling disappointment for one reason or another. This conversation let me know that I was not alone. So many times we feel that we are the only ones dealing with negative feelings because it seems everyone else is doing great. They are celebrating wins and are excited about new programs they are developing. And I'm feeling that I must be the only one dealing with disappointment. Yet in the end, we all deal with disappointment at times. And I'm coming to believe that's okay too. As a practitioner of the law of attraction, I know about the vibration of our thoughts and emotions. I understand that whatever vibration we create by our thoughts becomes our dominant energy transmission, and we attract more of the same. And that the law of attraction is only giving us what we are focused on, positive or negative. So why can't we shake those pesky negative feelings when we want to? We can't shake our dominant vibration because of momentum. The law of attraction will not let us go from depression to joy in one fell swoop. It's energetically impossible. So what's the solution? Baby steps up the emotional scale. My mentor, Abraham Hicks, gives us an emotional scale in their book with Esther Hicks, Ask and It Is Given. The lowest vibration emotions at number 22 on their scale are fear, grief, depression, despair, and powerlessness. During this low energy time for me, I was hanging out in about number 11 to 17, which are overwhelmment, disappointment, doubt, worry, blame, discouragement, and even anger on occasion. So I decided it was time to shift my energy, and since I couldn't seem to do it with meditation and journaling alone, I had already tried that. I chose to do some tapping. If you've never heard of tapping, it is the emotional freedom technique. It's an energy, mind-body shifting tool that is very effective. You create statements, both negative and positive, and tap your fingers on particular meridian points on your body as you say the statements. The point is to notice how you feel with every round and see if you start feeling better. Ending with positive rounds to feel even better and receive relief. You can tap on any subject. You can tap for stress, anxiety, or any other kind of emotional trauma or emotional painful experience. You can tap for health reasons. You can tap for abundance if you have financial blocks. I've practiced tapping for many years, but I hadn't used it with any consistency. On this particular day, I had been crying and basically indulging in a pity party. I'd had enough. So I dug out my emotional scale list from Abraham and set about doing rounds of tapping. After a couple of rounds of negative feeling tapping, I started feeling a little bit better, not so heavy of heart. Then I began my positive rounds of tapping. Each round I would use words from the emotional scale to help me formulate statements about how I was feeling, and then moving up the scale as to how I wanted to feel at the next higher level. Now that I've set up the backstory, here's my aha moment. In one of my positive rounds, I moved into statements for the numbers 7, contentment, and 6, hopefulness. I stated that I wanted to feel contentment with where I was. I wanted to be at peace with where I was so that I was no longer pushing against any situation in which I found myself. It dawned on me that peace was associated with trust. This was a new revelation for me. Maybe this is not newsworthy to you because you already realized this. But I had never thought about peace requiring a practice in trust. But it made sense, finally. I can't be at peace unless I'm trusting myself, source, others who will cooperate with me or collaborate in my life, and trusting the process of life to unfold in divine timing. Whoosh! Relief started to flood my soul. I kept thinking along these lines to flesh out the concept further. I wanted to bask in the glow of my aha moment, feeling that higher vibrational energy is exactly what the doctor ordered. If I'm not trusting, I'm not at peace, and I want to be at peace. Have you ever thought about the association of peace and trust? Making peace with where I am. When I make peace with where I am, even if it's not where I really want to be, I'm not giving up and settling. Making peace with where I am is simply trusting that as I stop pushing against where I am and fighting and scrapping for everything I want, I can relax and trust that all is really well. That relaxed state of being allows my movement forward. Relaxing into trust and peace allows the universe to feel my raised vibrational being and can bring me more of what I desire, more of what would bring me peace. If I'm constantly fighting or pushing against where I am right here, right now, I'm sending the vibrational message of struggle and discontent, which the universe interprets as I'm wanting more of the same. Ugh, lightbulb-in-the-soul moment. But if I settle down and be satisfied and at peace with where I am because I can't do anything about it in this red-hot minute anyway, I can relax. The situation is not going to change at the snap of a finger. That I am enough right here, right now. I can relax into peace, trusting that the universe will feel my acceptance state of being and then move into sending more things that brings me satisfaction and peacefulness. What do you think about the connection between peacefulness and trust? Have you noticed that you are more peaceful when you are also trusting that everything will work out for you? In my mind, I believe if I'm appreciative of my life at every phase along my journey, I will be so much more peaceful. I think appreciating as many things as possible allows me to trust that more things to appreciate will eventually come to me. It's my impatience that can get me into trouble. It's almost like I'm taking score too soon. I'm looking at the numbers or the results of the desired outcome, and they are disappointing. If I'm not trusting that my path is unfolding in perfect divine timing, I'm going to get really anxious and frustrated and disappointed, which, by the way, is what happened to me. Things weren't coming along as quickly as I wanted them to, and I found myself letting the external what is to be all I noticed, instead of noticing all the things I appreciate and that are actually going well. Again, it's always about where we focus our attention. Our attention is such a powerful energy. We're always transmitting that energy into the universe as our request for more. So I want to be more mindful and pay attention to how I'm feeling earlier in the game when the momentum is a bit slower. Then I actually have a chance to shift my thoughts and work my way back up the emotional scale to feeling better much more quickly. I can't say I won't have any more pity parties because I feel disappointment, but I can say I understand the process better. This experience was another one of those growing pains that we tend to create for ourselves when we simply don't go with the flow of trusting ourselves, trusting Source, trusting others, and trusting the process. Trust is where peace lives. That's where I want to live. If this post has piqued your interest because you have been feeling disappointment, I invite you to schedule a complimentary Discover My Joy and Well-Being session with me. Let's find out how you can make peace with where you are and who you need to become to trust the divine process. It's your life. Don't you want to live it in peaceful trust? You'll find the link in the show notes. If this post has resonated with you, please like, comment, and be sure to subscribe. This really helps my work to expand and touch more lives with joy. Thanks in advance. To your joyous peace and trust, this is Mary Ann Pack, your spiritual medium, oracle for the many, and joy advocate.